It is difficult to regulate cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Yet, some countries are trying their best. Though I think it's good to have some guidelines for the cryptocurrency space and for it to grow. But at the same time, I also believe that it's going to be difficult to have the same kind of control that used to be there on the fiat money, the same kind of control to have that control on the cryptocurrencies. But still, Russia has one country. It seems like Russia has figured out how to deal with the cryptocurrencies and they have come out with rules and regulations, which is exciting. Most of the countries are still finalizing whether they should ban, they should regulate, they should stop, or they should rather leave it unregulated. Russia has found out the way to regulate it. Let's have a look at what exactly their regulations looks like. Welcome back to the conversation. My name is Shay. This channel we talk about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and blockchain. So if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. And also this is not a financial or investment advice, just my personal opinion. Please do your research before investing into any cryptocurrencies. So here is the news. It says the Russia government is in the process of finalizing the federal law for the regulations of cryptocurrencies and initial coin offering. Initial coin offering has to be regulated, like it's must. You cannot delay. No countries can delay because there is a lot of scams going on right now. The draft law has now been officially published. It regulates the creation, issuance, maybe an ICO, storage, where would you keep the cryptocurrencies, and circulation of cryptocurrencies, that's for trading, for exchange and whatnot, right? So this is how the bill looks like. It says the draft law was introduced by the country's finance minister at the end of December. It was followed by much discussion and amendments to the bill before it was finally released to the public on Wednesday. Article 5 of the document states that this federal law shall enter into force 90 days after the date of its official publication. So 90 days from now, this law will be applicable. Is that right? Yeah, if I'm saying that. Yeah. So it says the cryptocurrency is defined as a type of a digital financial assets. At least they recognize that this is an asset. Like how some people in India also recognize that it's not a cryptocurrency, it's an asset. This was the statement by the economic, I don't know his name, okay, Subhash, I guess, from the Economic Affairs. He mentioned that let's not call it a cryptocurrency, let's call it a crypto assets, and we are trying to draw regulations around. So that's happening in India as yet, but it looks like Russia has finalized already. So maybe it could be a good roadmap or maybe guidelines for the other countries to see what exactly have they done and maybe follow the same or maybe be more creative and add or remove a few things. It says type of digital financial assets and accounted for the distributed registry of digital transactions. By participants in the registry in accordance with the rules of maintaining the registry of digital transactions. So the rules are predefined by the blockchain, right? Ethereum has a different rule, ADA has a different rule, Bitcoin has a different rule. So meanwhile, the token is defined as a type of digital financial asset that is issued by a legal entity or an individual entrepreneur, hereinafter referred to as an issuer. So this would be in case somebody is raising an ICO, he would be called an ICO because he is issuing these tokens in order to attract financing and is recorded in the registry of digital record, right? Exactly. So when you issue a token, you are attracting finance. You are taking people's money to build the project. So you become an issuer. It says as for the mining, it is deemed as an entrepreneurial activity aimed at creating a cryptocurrencies or validation in the order to receive compensation in the form of cryptocurrencies. Mining activities are subsequently described as a legally valid action. So when you're setting up a mining farm, essentially you're putting up a factory and you're marketing. You're maybe manufacturing some shirts or you're manufacturing any kind of industrial appliances or whatever, right? So that becomes like a factory. So that's the law. It says the holders of the digital financial assets have the right to make transactions for the exchange of digital financial assets of one type for digital financial assets type of another type. So people out there have rights to convert their Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to Bitcoin or whatnot. or the exchange of digital financial assets for rubles, right? Rubles is their own cryptocurrencies, by the way, right? So rubles is a centralized cryptocurrency which is formed by the government of Russia. How much rubles will value against Bitcoin or against Ethereum? I have no clue. In my opinion, I think the decentralized currencies will have more value than the centralized currency like ruble, right? But you have the rights to exchange them against rubles as well. Foreign currency and or other property only through the exchange operator of digital financial assets. So they have rules for exchanges and wallets. It says citizen of Russia will be able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies and tokens only through professional participants of the securities market. That's a rule. So they would be issuing licenses to who can set up an exchange and who cannot. Like just like Japan have, all the exchanges running in Japan have a licenses right now, right? It says exchanges and wallets. So after providing definition of cryptocurrency exchange, the document proceeds to explain also operators of exchange of a digital financial assets can only be legal entities. So you have to, in my opinion, you have to acquire some licenses in order to run a cryptocurrency exchange, which is fair, which is fine. There is less chances of fraud out there to the general public. Coming back to the token sales and the investor. So if you're into an ICO, this is something. So if you are somebody who is looking to raise an ICO, this rule applies for you. So it says a large part of the document is initial coin offering. A large part. It has to be the large part. Initial coin offering are the biggest concern, guys, right now. That's one of my biggest concern into cryptocurrency. If you ask me what's my biggest concern, it's not regulations. It's not nothing. It's the ICOs properly. The amount of ICOs which are flowing into account and having no real value, most of them. Most of them are just promises which will be built in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, and nobody knows whether they will build or they will just disappear, or they will leave the project halfway. That's the real concern. It specifies rules for token sales such as the issuing procedure, what documents and information need to be disclosed prior to the sales. For each ICO, the issuer must also provide an investment memorandum containing all information related to the issuer and the tokens. An offer for the release of the tokens investment, okay, that's what we read, must be published no later than 3 working days, whatever. I mean, I can leave the link, check that, go ahead, check that out. But it is very interesting for the fact that there is one particular country which has figured out how the cryptocurrencies are, and they're trying their best to put guidelines and regulations around everything possible. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, exchanges, ICOs, which is good, which most of the countries, by the way, still are trying to figure out, right? This is persons who are not qualified investors in accordance with the federal law 39 FZ on the security markets can purchase tokens in the amount of not more than 50,000 rubles within a single issue. Okay, so this is basically to protect the consumer, to protect the larger public, that if you're not a qualified investor, if you're not a pro, like most people in the cryptocurrencies claim that they're pro, they will give you predictions, they will give you trading hints. Sometimes it does work. I'm not saying it does not. Then if you're not such an expert, then you will not be allowed to transact more than 50,000 rubles. Is that right? In the single issue. So this is what the cryptocurrency regulations looks like for Russia, which is exciting, interesting. At the same time, I do want to share about the Switzerland. Switzerland has also come up with the rules for the ICOs. Switzerland has also been one of the countries which has been very pro in accepting cryptocurrencies. I mean, some of the top 4 audit firms, I guess they already have accepting cryptocurrencies in Switzerland. So again, I mean, Switzerland has been one of those countries which are like, they also have something called as Crypto Valley. Switzerland has already launched something else, Crypto Valley, in the Swiss city of Zurich. This is what I've observed, that all these developed countries are accepting cryptocurrencies and regulating cryptocurrencies. So they haven't come out, Switzerland have not come out anything related to general like crypto coins, but they have some rules for ICOs which I think is really important. So as you guys can see, the regulations are coming into picture. Whether bad, whether good, whether they will succeed or they will not succeed, that's another still a question mark. But countries are drawing regulations for the cryptocurrency, which is very positive. We also were hearing some positive news from India as well. The regulations are going to be happen in future. There is a discussion going on. We heard some comments in the comment box in the video. So I hope that the regulations do come in India as well, and we all take it positively, and it continues to grow and becomes more mainstream one fine day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave your opinion about this regulations on cryptocurrency from Russia, and do you think they're good, they're bad? Let me know your opinion in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, share, like, what can I say, and see you in my next video.